Despite home buyers feeling priced out and some sellers burning out after slumping sales recently, realtors across the country are expressing cautious optimism. Housing industry leaders gathering in New York this week believe the 2023 market will turn out better than expected. Our own real estate expert has a closer look. Lane Lyon is a managing broker at Coldwell Banker, joins us live this morning. Thank you so much for coming in.
Corey, nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
This is always so interesting. So let's begin with some of the reasons the current market is believed to be a good thing.
I know it's hard for some people to actually call it that right now. And this is coming out of a conference that's happening right now that many of us pay attention to. This is Inman Connect New York. And discussions right now are centering around how consumers are adjusting to this new normal, the current market that we have. And many are echoing a lot of what we were talking about here back in 2021 and early last year, that we just could not sustain the market we were in. That was back when houses were getting 20 or 30 offers, selling for 100, 200,000 over the asking price. You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
The truth is, while homeowners were loving the 20% increase in value year over year, there was concern on the sidelines that that was a very fast moving train and we just could not sustain. So that's the comparison, that we're in a better situation right now. And the reality is there's enough indicators that housing leaders are saying we should not be in this space very long.
Okay. So the high mortgage rates really have concerned a lot of buyers right now. Any idea when those rates might come down?
Gosh, that is the big question, right? And everyone's kind of waiting. And it's possible that we will not see the 3% range that we saw before and even lower. But the reality is we are in a situation where indicators are showing, economists, many of whom I follow, that say mid-year this year to late in the year this year, we're going to start to see inflation come down to a point that interest rates will decline. That's what people are really watching for. But I got to tell you, here in the Denver area, we're already starting to see some buyer demand. That's normal for us, where we see more buyers out and about early in the year. We're also taking a look at some of the numbers I checked last night here in the metro area. We have twice as many homes that have gone under contract since the beginning of the year that have come on the market. Why? Because buyers are gobbling up last year's inventory. So that's something to keep in mind.
You know, you got to keep in mind that even though we're in like the 6% range and we were used to that 3% at one point, there were times where it was like 14%. I mean, it's been really bad before.
Yeah, historically, a lot of our parents are reminding us what those days were like. It's tough for particularly newer first-time home buyers that weren't aware of that. The reality is we should see what we'll call pre-pandemic levels very soon. And really that is what a lot of people are looking at, is that we should be back in that 4% range, 5% range within perhaps this year.
Makes you breathe a little bit easier. Lastly, what is your advice if someone's like, well, I'm just going to wait this housing market out?
Well, and we hear this sometimes. Buyers say, okay, if rates are going down, maybe I should wait. Well, we have really interest rates is one thing, inventory is another. As I mentioned here in the Denver market, we're already seeing that happen. And when we see lower inventory, we typically see higher prices. So that's an indication that prices this year are likely not going to go down. So if you're a home owner, be aware of that. If you're a home buyer, I say don't wait. It would be sad, I think, to wait until the rates went down only to pay more for that house. A lot of us have long said, Corey, the best time to buy a house is when you find the right house at the right price. Talk to a mortgage professional, talk to a realtor, bring an expert on board. You know it's important.
Yeah, especially these days with inventory. If you see something you like, get it.
Because it will disappear.
Yes, quickly.
Absolutely.
As we've seen. Lane, as always, thank you so much.
Hey, you're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.